whole other piece out, the news piece.
Mm-hmm.
He just did a meditation or something, because she out here with the shine time.
I burnt myself.
We ready?
Yo, welcome
We
to.
trying to deflect.
We on, Dave? Yep. Welcome to the 36th episode of the High Vibe Guys. Coming in on our second anniversary show. Can you have 2 anniversary shows?
The day is
the
technically the 30th, so this is just.
Hey, bro, that's not what I asked.
Anniversary shows.
Anywho,
This fool come in with the math and like, it's like, hey man,
carry the one.
So second anniversary show.
some people say, I was saving the best for last. Some people do
Ooh.
that. So, you know what I'm saying?
Gang.
You see who in the building.
Definitely a repeat fire guest. Fire guest. So you got me, Big Booze, over in the back. You got your boy Asa on the right. And then Kill Tally. And we kind of jumping into it because we got a real, what?
You want to let the listeners know what he's doing right now? Or would you want to spare them?
It was y'all remember that commercial where that dog is like shaking his butt in the air? Like waiting on that street? Like Kill's doing that with his shoulders. You know what I mean? Yeah. Looking like that.
I'm the most stylish fly of the three of us, so you know.
Well, seeing that we just had.
Man.
We
Wasn't
just had
that the commercial with Shaq and the cat?
Yeah,
when they were both
yeah.
Shaq got that weird face.
And seeing how actual stylish person just left the building, please don't use that
And
word.
another one entered.
Yeah, true.
Bong.
Well, and then we got probably one of our most commented on, highly respected individuals in our personal lives, but definitely one of the best shows we've ever had on here. Returning guest, Edric.
Look, hey, you got my name right.
Hey.
You still got to think about it. Or
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Well, shit.
One day.
One day, it'll roll up the tongue, but not today. But yeah, we got Edric in the building, returning guest, and we actually kind of got a subject that we're gonna jump into a little bit. Edric and myself are working on a black. Should I?
Dang, you should have let me or Asa talk, like kind of toss that one in.
Well, go ahead, toss it.
Well, I feel inadequate.
Oh, those product
You, man.
in the North Face.
I told you I was the
Yeah.
most stylish person of the show.
Yeah. Whole Foods takes care of me pretty
I
well.
see.
Booze. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce your name because
Edric.
I said it. I said it right one time, and then I went to Booze, and he was like, "Think of Dietrich's furs, and then replace the D with E."
What is Dietrich?
And then I said, "Dietrich furs? You live
Dietrich
in Detroit?
Furs?
Yeah, you live in Detroit. You don't
How
know
long
the hell
have you lived in the
Dietrich
city and you don't know
Furs?
who
Dietrich
Dietrich
That's what I'm saying. We could
How do
walk
you
to
not know
it.
that?
Hey, man, that's before my time, bro. I'm
Asa-
pretty sure I'm
Asa-
not the only one, man.
Asa might be the smartest airhead ever. Like a blind woman
It's
or
like
something.
those first. Don't make me
You talking about that? Talking about that giant building with the glass casing with furs
Yes, you live around the corner from.
that I live around the corner from and I walked to
on your
multiple
phone.
times. Oh my God, get
He's
him!
on their phone.
He was on his phone.
Booze was on his
Yes,
phone.
he
No,
was.
he
I
wasn't.
got him. Yep.
Booze was not on his phone. He just cussed
Oh,
us out about
listen.
being on our phone like about 45 minutes ago.
Oh my God, thank
He can't be on his phone. He's
E.
behind me. I'm pretty sure he's not on
E.
his
Thank
phone.
you so much. Oh my God,
All right,
thank
I'm
you.
gonna stop.
I was about to say, this shit
Oh
ain't got.
my God.
You guys are
He say
Oh my
You guys are
God.
so petty,
Oh.
petty bastards.
Way to bring up some shit we just discussed 5 minutes ago. God damn it!
I
I'm
was
talking.
here.
I'm talking. He flamed our tops. E.
I didn't flame.
Hey,
you.
hey.
Wow.
Okay, I'm sick of this. All right. He did us like daddy
Good
treatment.
fucking-
Okay, I'll send a kill, huh?
Jeez, all right, bro. God damn it! I hope if you listen to episode 35, please don't respond to that bullshit. God damn it.
Oh, boy.
Man,
Anyways,
I was right on time. Then. Okay.
Hey, man. Right on time.
super
for sure.
super fly E, my super fly bro Booze, and we all representing him right now with this hood, make the hood great again. Fly Scullies we got on
Yes, sir.
my little bro Rafa. Y'all got something super fly and super impactful, especially for our community, brewing right now. Could y'all tell us, please, and our listeners, what y'all got going? E.
So it is called Taste of Diaspora Detroit, and we really wanted to celebrate the foods of the African diaspora for Black History Month. So really wanted to kick that off during Black History Month, and one thing is that I think when we were just sitting around talking and realized that there's really no event celebrating the food of the diaspora in Detroit. And we really just started thinking about it. It was kind of like, well, we could do it, and it just kind of ran from there. So, of course, it is about celebrating the food of the diaspora, which, of course, is not just African food. It is Caribbean, Southern soul food. It's Creole, and so we really wanted to provide an opportunity for those foods to shine during at least starting off during Black History Month. And so each week we will celebrate a different cuisine, and two black chefs, local black chefs here in Detroit, will make a dish that will be featured in a shoebox lunch. So definitely a nod to the shoebox lunches from the Jim Crow era. And so you'll be able to kind of taste the cuisines of the diaspora each week.
For any of our listeners not familiar with the shoebox lunch, could you guys talk about that a little bit, dive into that?
First, I want to know who came up with the name.
That is actually, none of us came up with that name. It's actually
Taste the Diaspora?
Yeah, it was actually a friend of ours. Which y'all will meet, Orlando Bailey.
Okay.
We're kind of talking it through, and he said it, and I was like, that's it.
Boom.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's a game changer right there.
I swear.
Yeah.
A taste of what? Who? Like that? That's an air catcher.
Put you right in the mental space.
Yeah.
Boom.
So definitely we're hoping so. The website will be up next week, so it will, have interviews from the chefs, conversations between Malik, Raphael, Mr. Levi, who is an older black gentleman that has a food company called he has a product called Mr. Levi's Mighty Fine Soul Sauce. He's also an artist, a musician, and then also a participating chef, which is Chef Chris from Savannah Blue. So we'll be hearing from him, having a conversation, a really strong conversation between 4 black men in the food space here in Detroit. Interviews from different chefs that'll be participating throughout the month, as well as education on the website. Of course, you'll be able to purchase the shoe boxes. So it is limited, but we also wanted to do it to be able to, just provide that additional revenue to some of these hurting black restaurants and caterers. And that's why we wanted to not only include some restaurants, but also caterers and private chefs, because a lot of times, they don't get some of the funding from a PPP or things like that. Even some of the grants they won't qualify for. So knowing that they have been hurt, of course, all of us have been impacted by this pandemic, but black businesses in particular, 41% of all black businesses in this country have shuttered. Or I guess let me back that up. Of all the businesses that have shuttered, 41% of those have been black. And then also farmers are also losing income. And so we wanted to make sure that not only are we kind of celebrating and acknowledging and highlighting some of our black chefs and restaurants, but then they are utilizing produce grown from local black farmers. So that dollar continues to circulate in our communities. And then also featuring local black, food products in their dishes, like Mrs. Pruitt's Cha-Cha Salsa, Mr. Levi's Mighty Fine Soul Sauce, Uncorked Spices, things like that. So we just want to continue to kind of generate those dollars in our community. And we were just really, really excited about this, about really giving them this opportunity.
I was nervous at first. Now I'm excited.
I'm still nervous, but
yeah, it's a lot of nerves.
No, this is fly.
I mean, shit should be sounding fly, but it's a lot of fucking work behind the closed doors. You know what I mean? Behind the scenes type shit. So
I'm sure.
But and then just to expand on what E's talking about, I think too, it's like for me, it's like we got to talk about the history piece with the food too, and we're talking about exposure with passion. And one thing I wanted to do was try to expose as many people to the food as possible, because not only is it the food we want to introduce you to, but the history behind the food, which was the other piece of it, because all of this food. Rafa speaks to it a lot about nourishment, you know what I mean, and how that's like the quintessential part of like just your culture, your cornerstone of your culture, and we've nourished this culture, this country, since we've been here, right? And so we are quintessential and essential, just to tie that into today. nourishing the country, and we have been. And it's a long story that ties back to why we're here, how we got here. And that was the other piece for me, was just the history that goes along with the food that we're serving, to give you that piece of things as well. I think it's easy to put stuff in your mouth and not think about where it's coming from or why you put it in your mouth. And I think it's very important because most cultures and a lot of people understand. A Polish person knows a story about the pierogies or something like that. And I think we have been disserviced because we don't know about why you put jerk in your mouth or if you do eat it. You know what I mean? We don't know the history behind it. And that history is important and is as important as the nourishment you get from it because that story is your story. And we just want to be able to tell our story, and we want to educate our people and as many people as possible on the importance and significance of the food that they put in their mouth that they might not necessarily think about when they eat. So.
And I think it's super fly how y'all tying in the culinary side,
man,
with the diaspora, but also our experience in this country, where I was talking about the shoebox lunch thing. A lot of people don't know because when Booze told me, I was like, what? He was like, yeah, back in the day, we had to carry our lunches in shoe boxes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that's crazy. But also the way that y'all tie it all in is just such a fly concept. And I know, like, we talk about this all the time. Booze is a tourist. Like, they real.
Stubborn.
No, not even that. I know my brother, he's stubborn, but he like, send them shots for me, E. It was like telepathy. Like, E, get him for me, E. But he's a earth sign. They're like real concrete. So sometimes my brother, and we do this to each other all the time, sometimes my brother don't realize how fly he is or how live something he's doing is.
He is pretty dope.
He's ridiculous.
He's
ridiculous. Facts. And it's something that we all do. We were talking about this with each other like yesterday, probably. We don't embrace how fly we are individually. And I just want you, I'm going off on a tangent a little bit. I just want you to get out, I'm very good for it, out that space of thinking that this ain't about to be crazy, bro.
Oh no, it's I you know what? I think we both think it's gonna be crazy. I think it was just like the mechanics of it were difficult to pull together. And
a lot of moving parts.
He ain't gonna like this, but he has definitely been the person who's kept it pushing. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for it because her energy that she's put into it has made this possible. Same, and not to diss whatever me and Rafa are doing, because Rafa definitely has a huge role as well. But it's just, and I tell these brothers all the time about like how you operate. It's just impressive. It just blows my mind at times because you are very much one of the most driven people I've met, and egoless while you going at it. You know what I mean? Like your ego is non-existent. But
we catch lectures on
bruh,
how fly you are and how motivated you are, and we need to get to that level.
Why can't you guys be more like E?
Say, hey man,
why can't, see when E does it, she does it like this. That's every day. I be like, bro, chill, bro.
He meet with you and Rafa and come back and hit us with a Telegram message that's like 92. Hey man, he made a website in 3 minutes.
Her work ethic is flawless.
Sheesh.
Well, that sounds like they got a lot of energy towards you.
Hey, man. Yo.
I'll take all the love. All the love.
I don't think that was love this time.
As always, love.
When E was just discussing or explaining the taste of diaspora, I was drawn back to in my mind. I was taken to the anime Dragon Ball Z, right? And it's this move, I think, like earlier on where Goku, the main character, he does something called a spirit bomb. And he sit there for like half the episode charging up, looking whatever, like, and it's all these forces from every direction coming towards this sphere of power that he's developing in his hands. But every time she said something, I was like, God damn.
Right.
And this and that. It was like, you know what I'm saying? That was the analogy that I was seeing in my mind.
Why is it a tornado outside?
Bro, and what made it even more profound is that that's a fucking cartoon, and y'all doing this in real life and real space and time.
Wait, I mean, I was gonna say a cuss word.
Oh, you can
Man.
definitely.
Well, no,
we curse
no,
all the time.
what y'all consider a cuss word. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's why I was like, can't
Yes.
use that word.
Yes.
For all of us, I know it's just, and we talk about this often. We talk about intention and impact. And the thing is, we want this thing to be not only very intentional, right? And that's why we are, of course, like, it's about the food. It's about the food waste. It's about involving certain people, making sure that every part of the food system is touched. But it's about being impactful, too. And we just, that really is like, that is what we keep going back to every time there needs a decision to be made or how we operate with this thing. It's all about intention and impact.
I love that word, too. I love impact.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you meant intention.
Attention too, but impact is one of my favorite words because it's how, to me, it's how you define yourself. Like, what type of impact do you leave?
Mm-hmm.
How do you impact the people around you?
Absolutely.
It's a very, very crucial word, and it's important in my life. But I'm definitely happy that I feel like this project we're working on has impact.
Yes.
On multiple levels.
Multiple levels.
You know what I mean? And it's not just like...
It's intergenerational. I think that's the thing. That's the one thing for me that, like, I wanted to make sure we kind of, like, added into that impact and intention was that... So a lot of times we do things, even if it is intentional and impactful, it's very linear. Like, it's the people that are, like, right here with us. But it's important that is also very intergenerational. So involving someone like Malik Yakini or Mr. Levi, or even, the pickup location is Oakland Avenue Farm. So not only it being on a black farm, but then involving Mama Jerry, who's such, a pillar of this community. And then taking it back and like having conversations with the students at DFA, because we're coming up on Black History Month and what does that mean and what does the diaspora mean to them and like food and all that's and tying it all together. It's important to be intentional and impactful at like intergenerationally, whatever that word is. I obviously can't talk today. Like that was really super important to all of us as well. And then, looking at, Black restaurants have been affected. Black farmers have been affected. So we're going to make sure that there's some intention and impact there. But also, food security. Food insecurity is not only huge in Detroit, but it has, we've made the pandemic has now caused it to be even worse. So then I go, okay, now how do we impact that? So of the meals, like 20% of those, we're going to give at no cost to some, Detroit families that are food insecure so that they can participate too. Like we don't want to make this where like, oh, you can't participate if you can't afford this meal. Like it really needs to be about involving the entire community.
And that kind of goes back to the exposure piece like we were talking about in the previous episode too, where these people don't get the opportunity to get exposed to these types of meals and this type of food. And these are the things that help a person grow. I was talking to a sister recently about, she was trying to open a restaurant and I told her like, somebody needs to open a vegan burger spot in Wyoming, you know what I mean? Because they don't get exposure to that, you know what I mean? Like, we can't expect for people to change and to grow and for their minds to evolve if somebody doesn't assist them with that process. And I told E a few times that I thought it was important that people who couldn't afford to get meals, for that reason in my mind, get a meal because this is some shit, not just because you're hungry, but because you don't have access to this type of food or this type of information.
Absolutely.
Which is like, that's how you help develop your community, you know what I mean? And it's by being that bridge to that new thought process.
Impact.
Yeah, you embody that, bro. You Akil was, I'm a veggie back off of what he was saying, not hyping you up or gassing you up, but just being realistic.
I'm laughing at veggie back, by the way, too.
I got that from the dojo.
Oh, no.
That's from
instructor Keith say that all the time.
Okay, cool.
I'm a veggie back on what instructor Keith said.
Hey,
say
man,
that all the time.
I was betting like piggyback, like the vegan
but
version.
But yeah, we don't mess with the swizzy.
Hey, man.
This way.
Hey, so what I was thinking about is
don't get me Red Claw.
Oh no, he be making it slap. Them pictures be going crazy, videos going crazy. But I was thinking about when Passion was talking about teaching a child a different language or multiple languages, right? And how that would inspire people to do whatever and network and be more profound with whatever practice later on in life. But it made me think about what you guys were talking about. Made me think about that and drew it back to how, like, if somebody tastes whatever you guys are bringing to the table right now, your food and your contribution via the Taste of Diaspora would inspire inspire people to mess around and travel, learn languages. Dang, I had this dish from so-and-so, from this country, from that. Like, that might mess around and change somebody's life just from putting that spoon or that fork in their mouth, you know? But that's just something I foresee. And then just backtracking, looking into the past, when you guys are going back and forth, I'm just thinking like, God damn, the ancestors probably just jumping up and down right now. So proud of y'all, bro. Because a lot of people do things like, I'm going to be a construction worker. I'm going to be a basketball player. What you're doing right now is shifting the game, like humanity-wise. And like you said, it's so multi-layered and intergenerational and all of this and all of that. Like, just on behalf of the ancestors of those who are no longer here, man, y'all doing y'all thing right now. This is one of the most profound business ideas that I've heard of since I've been alive. So I got to take my hat off to you.
And on top of that, y'all don't probably realize the impact you're going to have on someone's life. I remember when I was in middle school, what got me really hooked on food, I was a little fat kid, like follow my mom around. When meals were ready,
like a dog waiting to get
a
crumb, huh?
Man, one day we're gonna have, like we said, we're gonna have our moms up here. Like an episode, we got all our moms in here. I'm just be quiet because she gonna embarrass me. Like, "Are you so fat? He used to follow me around the kitchen, and as soon as meals was ready, he would." Like, I'm the first one at the table. Like, yes, fork, knife, ready. Like, how do you know the placement of spoons and knives at like 7, bro? Like, I was ready, bro. And this cat came into our culinary arts, home economics is what they used to call it, class.
Are you that old, you?
41.
Damn, bro. Shots.
So this guy came into our class.
It's all up.
It was like 12 years ago, I swear. It wasn't long ago. And he was like a professional chef, and he like made this dish. And it was, I forget what it was, but it was something I had never had before, like ever. And it's something that wasn't in my mom's wheelhouse. Like, she wasn't busting it out. And it had such an impact on me. Stayed with me. And I'm like 13 years old.
Yeah.
It stayed with me, bro. Like, I don't know what I just ate, but it tastes so good. I've never had it before. And it just intrigued me from that point forward. You guys are about to have that impact on someone's life. You know what I'm saying? With intent.
Well, these
Pretty sure he
chefs
didn't come in there with that intent.
Like, these chefs are sending me the dishes that they're making, and I'm just like, oh Lord, like this is about to be so. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
As I was looking at it the same way, I was looking at the dishes, and I was like, oh yeah, let me add some foie gras.
Like, wait a minute.
Add some truffle.
I was about to say, you said it to Boo's ass. He about to turn that shit up.
Oh man, I mean, but the thing is, like, the meals are really respectably priced. You know, $12.50 per meal, 2 meals in a box, $25 for a box. Like, it's a great price for the meal. So it's like, we also kind of got to be realistic. Otherwise, I probably would have turned up a little bit more.
Right.
But I think just the diversity in the food. Like, as I was looking at the dishes, I was like, shit, I would pay $25 for this, you know, myself, just to try this food out, because this really is really unique dishes. Like, everything else aside, you know what I mean? As a foodie, I would be like, oh, this looks like some shit I want to try. You know what I mean? And so and that's how the meals are coming too. Is 2 meals from 2 chefs in a box. Actually, 1 meal from a chef, 1 meal from a restaurant in each box. So every week, you basically put in an order for a box, and you'll either you can choose. You can do all 4 weeks. We suggest you do that. Just go ahead and get a box, because everything is going to be completely different. So we're going from Africa to the Caribbean to Creole to Southern American. Just to Southern.
American Southern.
American Southern.
Yes.
And just completely across the range of culinary flavors, and just the backgrounds of the chefs are extremely different. So each week you're really getting a unique pairing of food in a box. And again, like, people spend $12.50 at McDonald's. You know what I mean? Easy. You know, and if you're hungry, I'd have been at Taco Bell late night.
25 ball.
Easily.
I was about to say, don't get me on White Castle at 3 in the morning.
Boy.
Be like,
They eat it
this slide
all.
costs $20.
I swear, they eat it all.
Right. Shit, when you get a crave case, you a big boy.
But 30 sliders? All right, sweet.
Make them doubles. Extra cheese. Bacon on them, boys. I ain't did that in a while. My
Filipino
judgmental friend.
cheese.
Actually, I was about to go down this whole path of freaking White Castle. It just ends in bubble guts. So let's,
Exactly. That's how all that ends.
Good going in.
But just to say that you get that type of selection for $12.50, and like you got an easy pickup location. Like I feel like it's a easy way to be engaged. It's an easy and fun way to be engaged in Black History Month and get something from it, and then really be benefiting a large ecosystem. It's so many of us. That's fine, because it's like it all comes back around. It makes me look. This took a lot of pressure off me just now. So,
Hey, it's Allie.
hey, it's all
Allie?
good. I'm not. Hey,
I only know you in the middle of a podcast.
I'm not
so.
mad at you, brother. You made my life easier. There we go.
So take the heat off me.
Hey, man.
I love it.
But yeah, and I guess because it's really not, like you said, business is really not a business. We spending money. Hopefully we get some sponsorship soon, but this is really a labor of love right now.
It is.
That's 110% of labor of love. Our time and our energy is just going towards trying to make this happen. And even as we're speaking right now, sometimes you need to kind of be around people and have that outside perspective. A mirror can't see itself, right? So sometimes you need to have that outside perspective to see what's going on inside or what's going on inside of your own operation. And as we talk, it's like, man, this is phenomenal.
This is big, bro.
This is awesome, and I appreciate y'all too for giving me that outside perspective. Because we've been talking about it a lot. We pretty much text every day and meet weekly. But just hearing just from our peers, people who we respect and love and appreciate, how you guys are viewing it is making it that much more important to me. You know what I mean? It really is, and I appreciate you guys for giving me that outside perspective.
That's
what
fire,
y'all
for
doing
sure.
is big.
Yeah.
What y'all doing is big.
It's
Generational.
very exciting.
Like you said, intergenerational. I
Yeah.
got through it. You see me get through that.
Intergenerational.
Intergenerational.
That's what it was. The lead that got me. I was like, I
That
can say
lead.
intergenerational.
I had to slow that boy
Angela
down.
Lee.
Generationally.
That Lee, get there, Angela
Angela
Lee.
Lake.
DJ Lee.
Y'all got some names on y'all.
Sweet Jones.
That's
Sweet
hilarious.
Jones Jr.
But yeah, that right there has such a major impact on this city, man. I think y'all about to go harder than y'all even realize. I think
They
it's about
already
to be
doing it,
bigger.
bro.
I mean, yes, factual. But I think this is going to be bigger than what you guys are actually
We-
conceptualizing in
It's the
your head.
uppercut.
What you're seeing it
Oh, shit.
playing out to
Yeah.
be, because it's intergenerational. You can have a household with 3 generations, and that turned into a lesson
Oh, absolutely.
where the grandma is like,
Absolutely.
I used to have to take lunch.
Right. When we went, we traveled down south. We
Yeah.
needed to, we couldn't stop anywhere. There were certain places that we couldn't stop. So instead of risking it, we just packed it in a cooler, shoebox, paper bag. Yeah.
And I think, I guess one of my last comments was just like, as we're talking and as we kind of go through this process, we're responsible for, I know Black History is a month, and I know we had that conversation or that topic of like, it should be every day. It's not just
It
a month.
is.
But we're also responsible for expressing that history. Like that's a responsibility that we got. And if we want to actually educate and give the knowledge to the others, then we actually have to put effort in that realm. And I'm glad that I jumped on board because of that. The more we speak, because it's easy to kind of walk through life and be mostly worried about yourself. And this is a real selfless thing that I think we're trying to do, because it's not about the money at all. It's purely about the mission. Purely 110% only about trying to expose and put this knowledge out there, and this food out there, and those restaurateurs out there, and those chefs out there, and the farmers, and the product developers. It's purely about, and the culture and the history. It's purely about tying that all together in a neat bow, neat little package that's easily accessible to people. And but just for so many reasons, I'm glad we're having this conversation, because it's making me happy that we did this. It really
Absolutely.
is. Yeah.
And I mean, I couldn't. That's why I couldn't do this without you. Like I needed you, with you having not only the culinary background but then the African American history background. It was like you were kind of that like perfect intersection of both worlds. Gathering that history and then the culinary. That I was like, man, this is it. This the team. Like we can do this. We can definitely do this. So I'm I think, somebody asked me for a word for 2021, and it was just vision. And I just feel like God gave it to me, and I was like, all right, this what we about to do. This what it is. No, like second guessing myself or being like, oh, who am I to do? I don't know. And it did start to feel like that, but it was just like, because it was normal for me to kind of like do that and second guess. And I was like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that this year. Like, we're done with that. And we just going to keep pushing and keep moving and figure it out. So I'm really grateful. I'm grateful for this journey. I'm grateful for the vision. I'm grateful for the collaboration and just the partnership. Like, we are doing it.
Facts.
We are doing it. And I'm
Two
super
things
proud.
before we wrap up the show. I do my gratitude now.
Go for it.
That's cool. Thank you for being who you are, for the impact. There are certain people in our community where their jobs, I know I'm jumping all over, but I realized when I moved out of Detroit and then moved back in 2014 that there are, like, I would say 2 Detroits, but it's like multiple Detroits. It's like a underground kind of hidden Detroit that you gotta luck upon, and it's like jewels all over that, where you'll meet all the babas and the mamas and the people, the fly people, making all these moves. And then it's like the Detroit, the Detroit. The people in the hidden Detroit don't get enough credit for what they're doing. The fly moves they're making that's pushing the city to where the city is going to be prosperous and back in the light like it was in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. But it's going to look different. It ain't Motown anymore. You embody that. You get dirty. You're innovative. You find your way into different pockets of the city to make impacts. And you're doing it from the position of the most, not from me, not from this brother, not from this brother, not from anybody that know. You're doing it from the most disrespected position in this world, which is the black woman. Like, y'all just don't get it fair from any angle. You know what I'm saying? When it really should be flipped. Y'all supposed to be. And you do it with such grace. And every time I see you, you got like I see you got like a glow and such a determination. And people like you and like Passion Murray, you don't realize the impact that you have. You don't.
No.
Because as soon as we leave here, y'all got me on tip. I'm like, no, I need to.
Life-changing conversations in this room
Bro.
all the time.
All
man.
the time.
I need to get on my shit.
Yeah.
And what he say is true all the time. He come back from meetings with you and he like, man, we need to get on our shit, bro. We slacking and we not no slackers.
None of us are. We just here to make each other better. I love it. That's why I love y'all. I love the energy that y'all bring. I love coming. Every time I listen to this podcast, I learn something new. That's why I be looking for it. I'm like, listen, when's a new episode? I need to learn some stuff today.
It's beautiful. But
yeah, it is.
I mean, you are super fly. I know we short on time.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
I gotta give you your roses every time I see you. I don't have a great relationship you had with Booze where I get food all the time and get the brand to my friend. Whatever. Every time you bring a food, I gotta hear about it.
Yep.
Hey,
I sure be stunned.
hey,
And I stunt.
Hey, did E bring you lobster tail
Stunt. Yeah,
stuffed
I
with
stunt.
duck,
Yeah, I stunt.
stuffed with turkey,
Yep.
stuffed? Shut up.
Hey, man.
But anyways,
Still stuff with duck.
stuffed with turkey,
God, that's a
stuffed with quail, with a rare dinosaur egg. Anyways, I'm sorry.
That's that pandemic money coming in
I
right there.
swear, bro.
We balling out over here, baby.
I swear. But yeah, that's. I guess I got
I
my gratitude
appreciate
out the way
you.
early.
Thank you.
Always. It's all love.
Veggie backing off of what Akil said.
I
know.
love this veggie bag. I'm gonna have to start using that.
I swear.
Come on, man.
I can dig it.
Yeah, that's a household term now. Akil, Boo's definitely, but Akil he's like he said, he's not a slacker. He be handling his business. He said, I got to get on my shit. He be owning shit. But from the outside looking in, y'all so dope. Y'all just raised the bar up. You know what I'm saying? To the point where he just boost up his standards, you know? But also, bouncing off of what he said, I was reminded of like Kwanzaa. People be like celebrating it like 7 days out the year. Then they go back to lollygagging and doing whatever the hell they was doing, before Christmas started or something like that. Y'all two be living it out on a regular basis, man. Like, that's just another perspective. Like, not just like doing good, but like living out your life in a way, fulfilling your purpose in a way that's honoring your ancestors, setting the stage for future generations. Like, do y'all put this into thought when I know you said intentions and impact? Does that go into your thought formation, or does it just like come through intuitively?
How does that work? Generations.
I think it depends. I think now, I think once you know, it's just like forming a habit. So like once you do things enough time, it becomes where it is just second nature. So this project, you know, because I've done so many things that like I'm thinking about what the intention is, what the impact is. When you have a project like this, like the intention and impact is just second nature. It's just like, no, this like these are the things that have to be done in order to have the impact that we want to have.
AKA, I do this shit. I do this.
That's what
That's what Barack Obama do when he bag a basket. I do this.
Did you see that?
He walk out the gym.
Yeah, that 3.
I read a quote earlier this year.
I do this.
I said it to Rafa. I sent this quote to Rafa that I saw, and it's so true. And I'm just trying to embody that. Is that what did it say? Like, this is the year I no longer sleep on my own potential.
Oh.
You know, and it's just like, yeah, like I'm done, like not living up or like, you know, just sleeping on myself. So I'm just do it and see what happens.
You know, that's what it is. I saw that shine time when you came in, but it's almost as if it was like 7 a.m., 8 a.m. and the sun was rising from the east. Or from like the brightest star in the night sky. Something, it was something similar. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah, hey, bro, back-to-back celestial beings just
blessed
man.
Us.
Always coming from the east.
Can I turtle back? Can I bunny back? Can I squirrel back?
Hey man, do whatever you please, my brother. We saving the best compliment for last.
Back.
I literally have been thinking of all the backs in my head for like an hour.
I'm a tempeh back.
Tempeh back. Can I black back? I want to do appreciation just in general, but it's more for the ancestors, man. Because we do get a lot of love in this room, and then just like I don't know, I guess this conversation just really to me, we spoke about it earlier with Passion as well. We talked about how she said that we making the ancestors proud. The ancestors did us right too, though, and they put us in this space to receive all that divine energy. They sacrificed for us to be in this space to be able to make these moves and do what we do, and to be able to build a better future for ourselves and the people around us and the ones we love. And it's just really, you know, I guess this is really in part about us as much as it's about them. You know, like the present is all a matter of perception, and like all the time is kind of intertwined. And at some point in time right now, in the past, some person is sacrificing for us to be able to do this. Some person's in the kitchen slaving and have no option. Some person's in the rice field. Some person's being snatched up from Africa to come over here to be able to put that plant in the ground. And all of that for the trickle down into who we are. That's a lot. You really digest it. All that
shit.
All that ancestry trickles down into who you are. You are a concentrated version of hundreds of lives, of thousands of lives, and that you get to express that. And I feel like that's been coming out a lot. I feel like E is saying like I'm expressing everything that I am, and I'm not holding back. I feel like Passion said something very similar, and I'll thank my ancestors for giving me all of that to express, and I thank you for that. So that's my appreciation for today.
Real quick, Dave, how much are these mics? This boy is going on the roof.
Right. Fire.
God. And I'll pay you in installments. $12 a week.
I'll pay you in food.
I know.
I think we are wrapping up precisely as
Perfect
Dave, because
time,
Dave told us to get the out
Right.
and
He was
one.
like, I got shit to do.
Hey, real shit. Real
gotta get my
fast.
kid.
Dave always rock with us. We be in this boy
he do.
146. And another thing. All right, let's dip, yo.
All right, thank y'all for tuning in.
Yep.
This is episode 36.
Love y'all.
Love you too.
Love you
Love you too.
Peace.
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 Let's dip.